Hi, I'm Niall, and welcome to this video on the difference of two squares. We're going to start with an example, and I'm going to take my time over the first example and really explain it to you, okay? So this is an example of a difference of two squares, and the first part of this problem really is to recognize that it is the difference of two squares, okay? So we have three things we want to check, all right? Is there a difference? Well, yes, there is, okay? A minus or subtraction means difference. Okay, so is there a difference? Yes, there is. Is there only two terms in the expression? 1, 2. Yes to that too. Okay. And are each of those two terms a square? Well, yes. Perfect square. If we get square root of x squared, we get x, and the square root of 9, just looking at the 9 part, is of course 3. So we have a square. So now we recognize that this is the difference of two squares, and very quickly we are able to factorize it, okay? So we draw up our brackets, okay? We put a minus in the middle here, and we put a plus in the middle here, okay? So what's going to go in here is the square root of x squared, okay? And that is, of course, x, because x times x is going to give us x squared, okay? And what goes in here is the square root of just the 9 part, okay? So the square root of 9 is, of course, 3. So we have x minus 3, and then we can just copy these terms onto this side, and x plus 3. And if we want to double check that, we can, of course, multiply out the terms. So we have x times x, which is x squared. X times plus 3 is plus 3x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x, and minus 3 times plus 3 is minus 9. And when we simplify that, these common terms cancel each other out, and we're left just like we started with x squared minus 9. What about 4y squared minus 36? Well, is there a difference? Yes, there's our difference there, okay? Is there only two terms? Yes, there is. Okay, 1, 2. And are each of those terms a square? Well, yes, they are. And what is that square? We're going to find out now. So now we know it's a difference of two squares. What do? We draw up our brackets. We put a minus sign here, and a plus sign here. And in this first position, we put the square root of 4y squared. And we know that 2y times 2y will give us 4y squared. And we know that 6 times 6 will give us 36. So we can put our 6 in there. And then we can just copy them into the other bracket. And our factors of this difference of two squares is our 2y minus 6 times 2y plus 6. What about this one? What about 9x squared y squared minus 64? Okay, well, you might say lots going on here, but still we know what our test is. First thing we want to do is recognize it as a difference of two squares. There's our difference here, that's the subtraction. We have 2 terms, okay? And both of those terms are square terms, okay? So now we know it's a difference of two squares. We can draw up our brackets, put a minus here and a plus here. Now, what is the square root of 3x squared y squared? Well, of 9x squared y squared, excuse me. So that's going to be 3x times y. So 3xy times 3xy is going to give us 9x squared y squared. The square root of 64 is, of course, 8. And then we just copy those terms over here. And we have our factors of this difference of two squares, 9x squared y squared minus 64. The last example I want to show you today is a little bit of a tricky one, okay? So we have x squared minus 1. Is this a difference of two squares problem? Well, is there a difference? Yes, there is, okay? Is there two terms? 1, 2, yes, there is. Are there two squares there? Yes, there are. It isn't always easy to recognize, but 1 times 1 is, of course, 1, and 1 there is therefore a square number. So we open our brackets, we put a minus here and a plus here. X times x will give us x squared, and 1 times 1 will give us 1, and we can just copy them onto the other side. And our difference of two squares, x squared minus 1, when factorized, is x minus 1 times x plus 1. Click the link in the comments for a short worksheet with solutions. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. Connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook. See you the next time.